Hey, Darlin. So, if you're anything like me, or a curious human, a human curious of themselves, human curious of the world, and making our lives like the best that they possibly can, regardless of our ages, you probably have been wondering about the difference between destiny and free will. And you've been looking maybe into different resources, scientific papers, religion kind of oriented, or spiritual kind of documents. But if it's still unclear, I wanted to share sort of my perspective, what I have learned over the years. It is that we are truly the creators of our lives, of our destinies, and we only ever get ourselves to um, question that when we are not experiencing something that we wish to be, experiencing in the moment, or maybe we have got some desires that have been sort of haunting us, and causing us sleepless nights for many, many years, maybe even decades, and they're like still not here. What I have observed, and it has been sometimes tough to accept, but it is that we are all creators of our own reality. The way that the world was set up, um, when we came into this planet. So that would be like family dynamics, any socioeconomic, cultural, political kind of conditions, the alignment of the stars, whatever, any and all conditions and circumstances that were present, when we came into, these bodies, onto this planet, are but a stage. They're merely, sort of a setup so that we can figure out who we are, so that we can build our identity, our unique, one of a kind identity. We are here to find and sort of create and form our uniqueness, our own perspective on life. And of course, there's so many ways in which we are similar, but our individuality is something that takes precedent, rather than looking at the experience of things outside of ourselves as limiting, chaotic, obstructed, fragmented, missing something, unfair, unjust, unsafe, and so on. We are better looking at, these conditions as simply, stepping stones and points of departure, that we all truly have the freedom to make our own. I mean, this is why we are here. So I think the hard part to accept about this is that if we create everything, how did we create all those, unpleasant, traumatic, dramatic events? They help us to orienteer ourselves. They help us to make preferences about what we like, what we don't like, what we want to experience, what we don't want to experience. When we come here, we get to decide whether we live in a hostile or friendly universe. We get to decide that. We get to decide that. And this is, what often differentiates, one of the things that differentiates, people who seem to be like destined for success and destined for a wonderful, beautiful, luxurious, opulent life, where every area of their, livingness of their being is thriving, and the people who have perspectives that their lives, are mediocre, and that they live day to day in survival. And it's something definitely that I'm still learning, but I do believe that, a lot of it lends itself to the power of focus. And what I've recognized while practicing acceptance of myself, is that um I lived in very kind of low, low energy states, meaning that, you're lethargic, you're feeling depressed, you feeling, like you can't, make yourself to do anything, like nothing really makes sense, nothing really inspires you, nothing really, juices you up, like nothing. If someone brought you, a, a keys to the palace and said it's all yours and there's your lover waiting there, and you've got absolutely everything sorted for the rest of your life, I would probably be like, yeah, right, whatever, and just look away. That's, the low energy state that I was in for a long time. Um, but the more I come out of that, the more I allow myself to just accept myself exactly as I am. And I feel like meditation has helped me with that quite a lot. And I do have a project going on about meditation that I'm going to be exhibiting. But meditation is definitely not like an answer to anything. The answer is in our full acceptance of ourselves, even with the things that we are not willing or not able to accept at the moment. We can accept that we don't accept. um, and it also, depends on then allowing ourselves to admit to ourselves what it is that we want, making lists, actually putting it down in paper. That's you validating yourself. That's you telling yourself, yes, I want that. That's you telling yourself, I honor myself and my life enough that I'm going to admit this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. And not in a way that you will be dissatisfied if these things kind of never get to you or you never get to those things, but in a way that conjures up these emotions of love and excitement and, you know, juices you up to maybe plan something. It's in the way we use these kind of like, exercises, techniques, journaling, speaking out loud, meditating, and things like this, in order for us to um, let ourselves feel into the things, feel into the ideas about ourselves, good or bad, wanted or unwanted, and accepting them all for ourselves. When I was coming out, out of my depressed, low energy vibrations, what I got to kind of energetically, bodily realize within myself is that the feelings of shame, feelings of guilt, really any low level um, emotions that we're feeling when we live in them. I don't mean just like a passing, you know, a shame or guilt that we might experience kind of spontaneously and then it, goes away. I mean those emotions that we actually learned to live in, emotional states of your being, is that all the low level energy feelings or emotions are just rejection of our personal power. So I got this information by thinking about shame and guilt, that to me are really two emotions that are like two sides of the same coin, guilting either myself or others for either not having the power or having the power to cause something to happen. We just send off so many people on this guilt trip, and we think about them so often. Like we can spend our days, we can spend our lives, we can spend our evenings, Friday evenings with a bottle of wine, and think about, oh yeah, that person really hurt me and that was so unfair and they're this and that, and then create circles, around us of the people who have also got some other people that they feel, um kind of that they blame for things. It's all rejection of personal power. When we start accepting ourselves, we get to accept our responsibility, which is really ability to respond. Ability to respond in the way that is good for us. Um, and for those, because I can hear even my friends, coming into my head just now, my awareness, and saying, yeah, but like that's nihilism, that's being a libertine, that's then anyone can do whatever they want, and it's violence and chaos and debauchery and all that stuff. No, because when you are accepting of yourself, you're not seeking an outlet for anger. You're not seeking an outlet for disappointment. You're not seeking an outlet for frustration. You're doing things out of love and out of excitement for creating something. When we understand that we are powerful, like beyond our wildest dreams, we don't even have to know. We don't even have to know kind of how it looks like. This is why we are here, to experience what it means to be this powerful. We are here to experience what it means and how it looks like and how it feels to be powerful, to be mighty, to be abundant, to be safe, to be loved, to be adored, cherished, provided for, supported. And when we stop trying to fix something about ourselves that obviously just comes from a place of us thinking that there's something wrong with us, when we stop doing that, our energies are freed. They're free. They're free to flow wherever we point them to, because they're no longer focused on resolving some kind of problem. They're no longer focused on resolving our identity. There's no point to which you can get where you're going to be free from your identity. There's just no, like, it's death, basically. When we stop digging into our shortcomings and our uniqueness, really, is just uniqueness. It's just uniqueness. There's no shortcomings. There's nothing wrong with us. There never has been. Um, then yeah, like our energies are freed, and we can create these visions. They actually come to us. Ideas are flooding in. They're just coming from all sides, from all directions, and we are bombarded with them. We are bombarded with the abundance that is, all around the universe, all around us, all, included in our lives. Um, all we gotta do is like accept it. All we gotta do is like, yes, thank you. No, thank you. Yes, thank you. No, thank you. It's like a breath, it's like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, 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 no. We get to decide. We always decide whether we know about it or not. That's the thing, you know? And when we become responsible, we get to decide consciously. We get to know that we are deciding, and we get to know what we are deciding. And, if you're looking for a proof that you are the creator of your life, like, look into your life and be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourself. What were you thinking before that happened? That thing that you didn't want to happen? Or if you've got a condition in your life right now, I ask myself, okay, what am I focused on? Am I focused on something that I want to experience, or am I focused on this thing that I am experiencing right now and I don't want to be experiencing? Um, you know, when we are really honest with yourself, with ourselves, and able to accept that, we can then take responsibility. We can then respond to those circumstances, to those thoughts, those emotions in a constructive way. And we're able to say, hold the bus, hold the phone, that ain't me. Whatever story, whatever word, whatever feeling, whatever emotion, whatever circumstance, whatever weather condition, we can give it any meaning we like, because we are the meaning making machines. It's us, nobody else. And the meanings will come from the visions that we hold for ourselves. And, rather than be picking up other people's feathers, other people's energies, other people's, you know, beliefs about themselves, whether they're good or bad, whether they work for them or not, let's find the ones that, work for us. What we do with the stage of our lives is up to us. What we do with our minds is up to us. Who do we give our power to is up to us at any moment, at all moments. is up to us at all times. It always will be, whether we know about it or not. That's why I'm sharing this, because I've discovered that. And yes, it's a process. I'm on it because it frees me up so much. Like, it frees me even in the moment, and how I feel inside of my belly, how I feel inside of my chest, how I feel inside of my throat. It frees me. Like, I no longer have to spend, days or weeks or whatever crying and mourning something, and, being so distressed and or lethargic or angry or whatever. I can just be like, okay, you know, let's focus on the thing, on the way that I want it to be. Let's focus on that. And you might need to even isolate yourself, from opinions of others, or opinions, coming from the medical profession, the news outlets, what your family says about the subject or about yourself, or whether you can or cannot. The universe always says yes. And the universe, you've got access to the universe from within yourself. So when you connect to that, the world is yours. Change is like going to the gym. Like, on one hand, we're building the muscle. We're doing like the kind of the hard work. I don't know, I really enjoy that, but we're doing the hard work, building the muscles, but we're also allowing ourselves to release the weight, release, you know, the stored energy, the stored the energy that we have stored, the energies that, we have kind of packed up in ourselves, that we, packed up in our suitcases and we've been carrying around, with us. We're doing kind of two things at the same time. When we allow ourselves to do both things at the same time, knowing what our vision is, then even when we don't see like results, or even when we don't see the progress, that doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean a thing, because we know that tomorrow things can change like this. This is how the overnight success kind of happens, or or used to happen. Like, this is how it works. The person has been working and working and working, and suddenly, boom, they're everywhere. Everybody knows about them, and revels in what they have achieved, and how they are, and what the level of the skills is at the moment, because they have been working on this while releasing some of the old baggage. So change can seem hard, but I think once the train is going in the right direction, it just gets, I wouldn't even say easier, it just gets more fun and more fun and more fun and more fun and more fun. And anytime that something is trying to pull us back, coming from ourselves, we have got the tools, we have got the mastery over ourselves and our focus and our vision, that it cannot drag us all the way back there anymore. Hell no. Why would we? Where there's nothing to go back to. We want to go further beyond that, further and further and further. I'll keep it at that for now. So, the golden thread in here is that you are here to create beautiful, magnificent, wonderful things for yourself. And everything around you is here asking you, how can I love you today? What can I do for you today to show you my love? Absolutely everything is waiting for us to tell it. What do we want from it? Because, darling, absolutely everything is nothing without you. Nothing. There's no life without you. And that's a fact. So until we see each other again, ciao.